additional 10 minutes music at the beginning, because I tend to do that when it's my usual broadcasting times at 7 a.m. GMT time. Usually I don't have anybody following, so I could overextend a little bit, 15 minutes, 10 minutes. So that is why. So I would like to thank everybody for being around, all the guests, new people, Vibes 19, Doc Dow, good morning, Katerina, of course, thanks for hosting. Wilco, how are you doing? FX Lord, first time I see you. So hope that for the ones that are first timers with me, I hope that you enjoy it. Let me just put my, and by the way, Karina, just let me know when the recording starts. If it hasn't started already. Sorry, I skipped that. Sorry, I am kind of very lately kind of distracted because of a lot of things. I am very happy today, not for my demo contest accounts, of course I am not happy for them, but I am happy for my live accounts. That's for the ones that follow me in my traditional schedules. I have told you that I lost some money last week, and that Friday was really tough. So yesterday, thanks to the FOMC rate decision, and we're going to review the not prediction, but my insights on Mexican peso. That actually, that pair that cost me losses last week, actually I recovered all of them and put my account in profit. So I am really, really happy because of that. I was explaining to the fellow followers on my traditional broadcasting hours that I thought that I could that it could take me even 2 weeks. So when you are a trader, that's not a good thing, because that has not a good effect on your self-esteem. But well, we're going to review, and I'm going to make just a quick update for the ones that are here for the first time under my webinars. I don't know why my pages are not loading. I hope that then my computer won't crash. Sorry, Abby, we have an unfinished chat. Oh, really? Lord Ice. I don't remember. What kind of chat you mean? Unfinished chat? Or you're not talking about me? I'm Bond. You're Bond? James Bond? You're the 007 that now is a blonde one after being a brunette? Or what do you mean? I am missing something, I believe. I don't know if once we had a chat and I just forgot, just remind me. Unfinished business. Lol. In the ring. Ah, okay. Well, I guess I am kind of distracted a little bit. So let's jump immediately on the interesting price action. Quickly, for the ones that are first timers here, I have recently added to my blog post arsenal and my trading arsenal these little boxes that I call price boxes, range boxes, whatever you want to call them. You usually see them. There are people that use them often. They put apparently they use kind of Fibonacci extensions or convergencies, etc., and they put the boxes there. Well, my approach is a little bit different. My approach is actually completely subjective. I pretend to be like a painter on the painting of the charts, and I just allow myself to draw the things and the boxes and the sizes and the thickness of the boxes that actually I feel they mean something. And I will repeat that, I feel. So this is a complete subjective thing. This is not something that maybe I have an objective reason just to do that. No, it's just something that just feels right for me. And I have used them for quite some weeks, months, and I feel comfortable with them. I share them with you because when you go to the traders contest blog, you actually can track some posts that the traders there post, etc. But the thing with my posts is that I want to be long lasting, meaning that the validity of each of my posts, actually you can go back to those posts even 2 or 3 or 4 weeks after and see that they are still kind of valid, that those boxes actually had something to do with the price action. I tried to make a robot feel and trade, and it didn't work yet well. Yeah, apparently it's just a long time to make machines to feel and to be pseudo humans. But well, I've been sustaining that trading, at least for me. When I try to engage the markets completely rationally in my first stage as a trader before the 2008 crisis, it worked well, but not. There was like a feeling of something missing. After the 2008 crisis, I realized that I had to just simply allow my intuition of something I need to add that has to do maybe not with rational thinking. So I decided just to let it flow, and it has worked. And this is like the second stage, or the materialization of those things that maybe I was feeling already for quite a long time, that I am actually giving that an objective way to see them in these boxes. So that is why I feel happy, excited, because actually this kind of information I used it for my live accounts. That of course I open trades there much more conservatively than the trader contest, etc. And they have worked, and I will show you why. I was commenting yesterday in my webinar, yesterday in my webinar, that I was expecting that after the FOMC, some potential scenarios on Mexican peso and dollar yen. Yesterday, I put this blog post in dollar yen, where I put the next valid price boxes, maybe till month end or something inside April, like April 10th or something like that. This is this is a daily chart. This is the candle, yesterday's candle. I was commenting that yeah, we could have after FOMC whatever a huge spike to the upside. But if that bottom line, what I was commenting is that if after FOMC we didn't retest this zone and even this, the problem is that if this moves bullishly instead, it should run out of the steam at this stage, just at the 116, and maybe hover here and maybe after crash. So I see this as a buying opportunity. I was commenting that, of course, this is well overextended. I must admit that the price reaction after FOMC, it was higher. I mean, the dollar really sold after that. For me, I believe that at least in the case of dollar yen, is just buying opportunity because of the fundamentals. Here it says we have some chat. Wilco talking about euro pound. We're talking about his trades. Okay, so as you can see, yesterday we even what I thought it should have been the best buying zone was this one. As you can see, we broke it, but we retested this descending triangle that actually was the one triggering my bullish bias on this. So I see this as a buying opportunity. Of course, that you have a price box broken either direction doesn't mean anything. These boxes are agnostic. This doesn't mean their direction, trading opportunities, nothing like that. They are only there to help you identify the same levels that I believe are relevant. This is not a pinpoint super accurate thing, because trading, at least in my point of view, has a lot of human reading and human element, and even if the computers are trading, the ones behind programming them are humans. So At the end, it's humans the ones that are training. There's not a self-thinking machine. I mean, a real thinking machine that is taking decisions. It's humans based on expectations, fundamentals, Donald Trump's element or Obama's element or Syria's element, etc. They factor all that in an algorithm, etc., and they put them to work. So I believe that these price boxes again are agnostic, so they give us only a good idea. For example, here we have the price closing below what I thought should be like the bottom of the bottoms. What is human? How doesn't it smell? What is human? How does it smell? Well, I don't know how they smell, but it is said that their flesh is kind of sweet. So yeah, maybe that is something that I will never be able to prove. But yeah, it would be strange that meat is kind of sweet. That is strange. Usually the meat tastes like blood. So yeah, it would be nice to know the flavor. Of course, not directly. Maybe an artificial flavored human flesh thing. Oh, I don't know. I am a robot. Oh, okay. You're a cold-hearted robot. Okay, that shouldn't be good. You're missing a lot of the all of the fun of being human, including making mistakes. So, well, as you can see, the price, the dollar yen, retested this support. And now what I believe is that it should be, this is the delicate part. The most likely thing, what I still expect because of the fundamentals, that this should go inside this box for maybe the next month. Maybe try to retest here, but more or less trying to build here a new support to allow further movements to the upside for the next month, even to get to the 120 or even the 130 in the next year, so or the next 2 years. So I believe that this is a super buying zone for the ones that are eyeing a bullish trend that is already set because of the fundamentals in dollar yen for the next years. Of course, if you're a retail speculator, maybe this information is not that useful. But the things that you at least know that this zone should represent in the intraday when you read them, when you go and you apply your edge reading price action, and then you confirm that with mathematical tools like technical analysis, robots, etc. They should let you know if actually this zone is indeed working as a support as it should be, or if not, these will lead path to the downside. I will allow today the market to stabilize a little bit in order to maybe reconfigure the price boxes, because the least thing that you want to do, at least how I understand it, is that you don't want to fix and to put new boxes after a lot of volatility. You need to wait a little bit just for the price participants to calm down, to chill down, if they're fearful to calm down a little bit, if they are in a buying spree, just to unwind a little bit. So you can use them as objective price zones, price boxes, okay? So, well, now, as you can see, the market stopped here is what I believe is that maybe it will use temporarily this as a resistance. Maybe it would try to go a little bit lower, maybe even lower, and then maybe try to jump here. I will confirm that in today's or tomorrow's traders blog post. But what I do believe is that the price eventually, maybe in the next days, it should want to get inside this box to build some support, actual support and real support, and then try to move higher. Okay? So, here we have a comment. FX Lord Eyes, do you use filter tool for those BOs? Breakouts, you mean? Do you use a filter tool? Well, I don't trade them under a breakout perspective. It's only a reference. It's like knowing that here you should find something interesting by the market. the way it moves. It's only that. I mean, it broke down. It broke to the downside here, but for me at least, this is not a selling signal. But it's not a buying signal either. The only thing that I know is that this should be a support. But more than being a support, the price should tell me if it's hitting here, if it's sitting here, in the way it moves, what the market thinks of these levels. Maybe they will just try to use it as support, but maybe because of the way it starts moving, they will change their minds, and just decide to use it as a resistance, and then it could crash. But yeah, I don't have any kind of filter of breakouts. So not like a support resistance zone. It is kinda. I mean, if you have a box under the price, it should work as a support price reference level. I would like to add that it's a support reference level. Of course, you will have people buying here, of course, because there are a lot of interest in the currency markets. You will have all the time people buying and selling, no matter the trend. So you should expect a fundamental bias. Since this is a fundamental bias, yes, I do expect that here major players will be interested in buying heavily overall now that it's under this box. That is what I believe, but what really matters is how the price moves, how it reacts when it, for example, if the price manages to get inside this box and the moment it touches here, it bangs again to the downside, it would maybe start signaling me that maybe the bullish momentum is over, and maybe this should hover in a range or maybe try to retest this low. But it depends on the behavior of price. Since I consider price as an animal, that the longer you watch it, the more you can understand it. But it is an animal that could change habits. Why? Because if the surrounding changes, the animal stops behaving the same way until it finds another comfort zone where you can actually start detecting behavior patterns. So now that we have this sell-off, this little animal will try to find first refuge, water, etc. And in the meanwhile, it will be like kind of confused, but it will take just some in the markets, at least my perspective. It will take maybe some hours or some days for the markets to find a new, for example, a new shelter in this price zone. And you will start seeing how, let's understand maybe this like the shelter. The animal will try to get here to find shelter, and in the way it moves here, will start telling you that if this animal feels comfortable in this shelter or not. If you're bullishly biased, if an animal feels comfortable in a support, that means that it will go up. But of course, here's a heavy amount of subjective reading and subjective interpretation. This is not objective. So, well, this is what I believe. I'm going to update these boxes tomorrow, I believe, or today. It depends. These are still valid, but I need to update them after this sudden crash. So we have more reference. Of course, what I could expect that maybe we will have some boxes below here, ending kind of here more or less, and maybe another one here extending here, allowing further movement to the downside. But this is these boxes are going to be valid for some time. No problem, FX Lord Ice. Well, you talk about something harmonics. Well, I just have the general understanding and meaning of harmonics, but not that exact trading of how you apply that into trading. So maybe I cannot answer that question accurately. So let's move to the other one, because this is the one I really want to talk about. I want to show you this. This is the other. You can go to the trader contest and in the blog. You will check this. You can see this. This is a previous post. This one was the one that I posted the day before yesterday, March 14th. Okay, daily chart. One day before, I published this in the 4-hour chart, March 13th. But look at this. At that time, I found out here another support zone. I want you to check this out. How the market really respected this price zone. this was not designed and painted in the chart. I didn't put it here to say, hey, look, to the point it closed below. But it makes sense, right? I have learned that for some reason I have developed a way to feel something in the market that actually are translatable in a box. So the market, when it hit here, it just decided to close below, because here there were a lot of buyers. Of course, a no-brainer. It's the 115 zone. But here the market recognizes the resistance and moved back. And even in the dailies, where we have the support zones, in the 4 hours some days before, there was, if you let's say had a more granulated view, a further more clear thin support zone, and then the market got through it and even got through this one. Look at the price, how it's reacting to this level. So this is something that actually I don't like, because yeah, it is kind of 1 time, 2 times, 3 times in a 4-hour chart. Retesting this, that is precisely this. So yeah, the chances of maybe the price wanting to retest the 113 are high. I still believe that in the 13 zone should be more support. That is why I want to wait today or tomorrow, just to see how the market gets comfortable in this zone, and to start finding new potential significant price boxes. Okay, so well, this is only to show you that actually these boxes work. And this was posted in March 13, 3 days before. And even though, and as you can see, these are not randomly put. I mean, I put this box with this length and this thickness because I felt it was right. And in this one, it's the same thing. Here, for example, here is just about to end this price box reference. So that is why I believe if these price boxes are still valid, that maybe if it jumps to the 13, it won't find any significant resistance like it found here from now on. So maybe it could jump here and then immediately go back to the 114, because here this support is not valid anymore for me in time. It's still valid the 115. I would be surprised to see such a jump from the 113 in the 1 to the 115 by Friday. But adding that we are just oversold in respect of the support zone, and after retesting this close to the 113, this is why I believe that this should, maybe even if it hesitates a little bit, move up. This is what I believe. Fundamentally, at least this is the direction so far. So I believe that this is the way the price could try to play this game in this occasion after FOMC. Where is the trading room in a house? Well, in my case, I have 2 of them. One in my bedroom and one in a special place for only trading. And yours? And some people have some kind of trading element in the bathroom when they go there, so they don't miss any kind of fun. So, oh really? In the bunker, you in the Netherlands you have bunkers like in Switzerland also? I didn't know that. Or it's only you that you have a bunker, just in case. Well, let's move to the next one, because this is really the one I liked. This is the one that got me very happy. Yesterday, because this was the one that helped me put back my account to recover my losses and to put it back into profit. I was commenting that in the bigger time frame, and even if I always held a bullish trend on dollar versus the Mexican peso, after the latest tools of selling forwards by the Central Bank of Mexico to financial institutions to precisely supposedly avoid the dollar volatility against the Mexican peso, actually what it's been seen is that this practice is actually having an artificial bullish consequence in the peso. After Donald Trump's election, we had a massive movement in the dollar Mexican peso, and now apparently what the market is trying to do is just to reset things, just to put the price before that panic, just to start all over again. In my opinion, fundamentally it's to the upside again. But the problem is that with this latest tool that the Central Bank of Mexico is using to spoiling the Mexican economy, in the long term they will end up affecting very negatively the Mexican economy. It is strengthening the peso, but we are an exporting country, so that could have a very bad effect on Mexico. But the thing is that these guys simply won't accept opinions and to consider opinions of people that don't agree with them. They just have their things done how they want it, and they don't ask for second thoughts. So I wanted to check this out. This was published March 12th. This was 4 days ago. Okay, look at this. If I'm not wrong, at the moment, yes, at the moment of publishing, the price was here. So I was commenting in my traditional webinar at the normal times that I drew this box because I believe that this should mean a hesitation zone. So it started hesitating. As you can see, the major part of all this 4-hour candle bodies are inside this box. Then it tried to move up. Then it sank here quickly just to retest this one and just sold here. This is the power of these boxes. The thing is that not all the boxes are that precise because there's a huge amount of subjectivity when I draw them. But actually you can adapt them to your beliefs on the market. But in this case they were so precise that even anticipated a potential support here and here, a potential support. But I was commenting that the most interesting thing for the bearish effect on dollar Mexican peso that I was expecting is that the support that I drew here was just about to end its validity. I just commented that. So it could open path to a huge sell-off. If I must be honest, what I thought that initially what's going to happen is that the market was heading to retest this resistance plus this descending. This is a broadening fall wedge in 4 hours, and here and then fall. But it directly went to the downside. But that was the expected movement in my lab accounts that I was expecting to happen. And well, this was great. And in my opinion, I have, sadly, the only evidence that I have, and you will start having afterwards, the only evidence of that this works is after the fact. You will start seeing this kind of stuff when you look back to the price boxes, and you will see, well, these boxes are really there for some reason, even if this guy doesn't know how, but he feels them and he draws them, and we all can use them to develop trading plans according to our interests, using those price of interest, zones of interest of price. So this, in my opinion, this is not coincidence. When something is looking in a direction, you are biased. I was expecting a sell-off here, but mine wasn't the 19.4. The 19.4. This, if the market got here, my account was back to break even after last week's losses. But look where it has been overextending. So I just have one small lot running extra. I just closed it, half of it at the 9.3, and the rest is hovering in potential winnings. I do believe that this at some moment will try to retest the 19.4, but the stop loss of that is here. But the thing is that I just not only got back my losses, but I warranted some winnings. So that is why I'm happy. What you need to make this kind of things work? Well, first of all, is discipline. First of all, in my case, I'm not asking you that you trust these boxes, but just okay, 1 month, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, look back and check if those boxes really work. I mean, I am not only drawing boxes that are meaningless. No, I actually use this information for my trading, my live trading. This is the difference, because you can gamble in the demo competitions, etc., whatever. But the live accounts is another thing. So this is the way and the information, the general framework under I work with these pairs. The dollar yen, for example, the dollar Mexican peso. So hopefully you could find and will find this interesting and useful, because that's the whole idea of this, that you could use it in some way, whether if you maybe, for example, you in your analysis, this instead of being a support is a selling signal and it gets here, maybe you will find an opportunity to sell, whatever. But the things that you will have like my opinion, but not in a long-lasting 1-hour webinar, but in a very concise, precise, in a glance reference that is an image in the trader's blog. So hopefully this could help you. Well, I believe that this is everything for the reviews. Okay, one of the other things for the ones that are kind of following what I say on my traditional webinars, my strategic contest account, it has a robot that actually it was programmed to supposedly profit from a potential drop on this. For some reason, the precise configuration of that robot didn't open this trade, because one parameter that I put to open a short trade was that in the hourlies, the selling signal should trigger if the hourly MACD was in negative. But when we had that spike to the upside, actually the 1 hour were in positive. So that is why in my strategy contest, this trade was not open. But it was supposed to profit from this potential drop. So, well, these are the things that happen to robots. Overall, when they're not, I'm not optimizing them. I'm not spending hours and hours running optimizations just to put the, let's say, the next, what I expect are the next month's parameters that could be used for trading. But this is at least amateur robots. I consider myself amateur in this automated trading thing, because I'm not really into that. I'm trying to get into that, to learn a little bit of how to program the robots, etc. I have found it very useful. But well, the thing is that that robot didn't open anything. I don't know if this trend will continue going lower. Let me show you the Mexican peso chart, so we can have a visual, much more clear visual of what is happening in the markets. Why I'm showing you this? Yes, unfortunately, the selling opportunity that was embedded in this price box's potential trading plans, maybe that opportunity is over. The retail EA is worthless on the long run, in my home opinion. Yeah, that what my approach on robot trading, automatic trading, is that you need to continue tuning them continuously. I mean, if I believe that euro is going to move up today, let's put it that way, I can configure a robot that could profit from that. But if I believe that tomorrow is going to go down, of course, this robot, I cannot use it. And when you start comparing the performance of your robot every time that you believe that imagine that you got it right. But every time, every day, your robot will behave differently, and the results are going to be different. So at some point, you need to start anticipating what things you need to tweak on your robot so its validity continues. Another, let's put it more advanced way that I understand this robot trading. In my opinion, a robot should be used as a signal. I mean, as a trader, at least myself, I try to find that the trading patterns that might edge, like let's put these boxes. My work as a trader is to try to find these zones of price, of interest. That is my job. But there are other kind of patterns in the market that are the mathematical patterns, that are through technical analysis, proprietary, personal ways to read the markets, but there are mathematical patterns. So the best you can do is to trade when both match. If you have a signal, sell euro-dollar, well, unless you have very optimized that robot for that day, maybe you could just follow it blindly. But the real usage for me is it does the heavy lifting of confirming throughout different time frames if your personal opinion is right. If I expect a major movement to the downside on Mexican peso, and suddenly my robot says sell it, you could feel more comfortable in your trade. But that doesn't mean that the movement won't happen if the robot doesn't signal that. Okay? So it's a relative thing. It's a tool. The robot is a tool. Of course, you can tune it in a way that actually the robot will make money for you, but you need to be behind of it. You must be driving. Instead of you driving, maybe a computer will start driving your car, but at least you will be leading and telling the car the direction. Go turn left here, right here. I need to go to the bathroom, stop in the 7-Eleven, etc. So that is how I understand automatic trading. It's just something that helps you, but that at the end, at least for me, my interest is not having a robot that does all this, because that would mean I put a lot of interest programming instead of doing what I love, that is watching the charts, reading the news, and all that. But well, that's my approach. Here it says some comments. By the way, thanks a lot for the feedback. I love to have feedback. Usually when I broadcast at 7 a.m., it's very quiet. I paid millions for an EA that belong to a trading investing company bank. Well, I don't think those are for sale, but you can do one of if you have understanding of the market, use it as a tool. Because, well, I have never worked in a bank in that way, but I still think that if you wouldn't allow your car to completely do the 100% of the driving, up to the point that you can close your eyes and sleep while it drives, why in the hell you would allow a computer billions of dollars without watching? What I do believe is that some part of trading should be done by computers, while humans are there to make what computers cannot do, at least yet. So yeah, maybe there were the most interesting evidence that robots are not flawless is the 2008 crisis. I mean, there were tons of people that got millions on that crisis. But the thing is that there were a lot of robots programmed to continue doing according to what the patterns of trading were during years. But it just took an instant to change everything, and only humans were able to adapt and to foresee that the patterns are over and that we were entering into a panic mode. A computer doesn't have that. That's what I believe. At least there is not any computer that does that. I mean, not even the super advanced computer of the NSA in the United States could actually detect a potential terrorist and go for him just before something. I mean, you need human intervention. And I believe it's the same thing here. Here says, so built by you. I tried, but too complicated my trading system. It's complicated. Exactly. So, same for my system. Hard to program the human feeling. Yes. And I'm not interested in programming my human feeling there, because then that would take all the fun and all what I find delightful in trading. I'm not interested in that. Maybe, for example, you could try to, one part of your system, your manual system, try to automatize it using Visual Forex for JForex. It has cost me some months of studying, etc. But yeah, it's not that difficult. It's just to get used to it. Maybe program a small part of it, just to allow you to do some heavy lifting. I don't know, maybe just a traditional robot that tells you, here now, just now we have potential oversold conditions. So if you're wondering to buy, maybe it's a good chance to buy. And maybe just to use it as your own signal provider. You're still doing your job, you're still watching the charts, but you have them beeping, the robot sometimes telling you, mathematically, in my opinion, will say the computer, it's a good time to buy. But if you don't agree with the computer, then you simply don't buy. You skip that signal. And actually, you can program a robot, a very simple one. Buy when MACD it's above zero and when stochastics oversold. That is what I do. My robot is that. My robot that is in the strategic contest is that. MACD confirms direction. Stochastics, I buy oversold, sell overbought. Of course, the trick is where you put your stop losses, where you put your take profit, and what time frames are relevant to fit your view of the market. So maybe you can do that, just to start getting into automatic trading. What I believe is that in the future, even I believe that traders will never ever be substituted by computers. A real trader, somebody that it's only making the technician analysis, etc., maybe they could be substituted by computers. If not, they've been substituted so far already. Okay, that is what I believe. But in the near future, the markets will change when quantum computers get in the market. Because we really don't know how that could change, how super quick things could get. And in my opinion, in the future, a good trader will continue being human. The trading world will continue being led by humans, but a bigger part of automatic trading will take place. So maybe just to anticipate for the next wave, it's good that is actually why I pushed myself to start developing my robot. Just to have the feeling of what it feels and maybe try to profit from it. Of course, it's not my interest, but it works nice. It's just to have your own robot friend that will tell its opinion, objective mathematical opinion, that's it. Here it says, example, harmonic indicator does the lifting for you, but you have to filter it and trade manually. Yes, all these things, the harmonics, the chartist patterns, the Fibonacci, how do you call it? I don't know, this advanced thing. This Elliott wave counting. Elliott wave counting is completely subjective. I mean, there are robots that do the heavy lifting, but at the end you are the one selecting the waves that you feel more appropriate for the conditions. But yeah, it's good to know that you have now computers that maybe takes out 6 hours of work. At least it's like this chartist patterns. This automatic in the JForex platform, this takes a lot of the heavy lifting out of my hands. Because instead of me, besides doing what I do, happens this, and by the way, I believe that a trade was closed. Let me see. I don't know what happened. Okay, well, here it says I lost where I was. My first robot is losing. I need to improve this. Wilco says. Okay. Yep, I guess I will check that later because if not, my computer could crash. Yes, I mean, my robot now, I have been like 3-4 times in the strategic contest. And no, I'm not precisely the best there. But it's just to start developing the skill. I believe that it's super necessary for a trader to start getting into automatic trading even if you don't want to. Because the overall idea is not that you will substitute everything. At least imagine how I could substitute a robot that draws this for me. I have not even an idea how I do it. How in the hell I could program that then? But the thing is that if I can program a lot of things, I will have way more time to do this. In the future, some trading conditions will change, of course, when quantum computers get into the market. In what way, I have no idea. And if we are still in an age to continue being traders, when that happens, when the quantum computing hits the financial sector, we at least need to be prepared that if we need to be super fast to do something that maybe we didn't think that could take that it was not a problem to take our time to do them by ourselves manually. Maybe you will be ready to do that and to program your robots or to do something for you. That's all. Maybe to start developing these, not maybe trying to profit from it now. I don't know. I was having huge expectations with this robot of mine in the strategic contest, but of course, imagine if a trade to the downside had been opened on time with this robot, in this single trade, it was programmed to win $5,000 in the first trade. So it would have been amazing. But unfortunately, the setups that I used were not optimal. That's it. I can build any strategy in 1 hour. No, that is good. It took me a lot to figure out even how to connect the J4X blocks. First, try to work on the money management, losing trades, minus 20 pip, profitable 1, 7 pip low. Okay, they're discussing. Good point. Doc Dow, how are you doing? I thought you were having breakfast or something. Well, major computing power. I believe that they're not putting much attention on me. A problem itself from its neural nets of learning. Okay, we have a lot of comments, but apparently they are commenting among them. But well, this is how it looks in context. So just let me check for the latest 7 minutes that I have. Look at this. Oh my god, I am happy because my live trade that I thought that was going to be closed because of a pullback, maybe it is not. This is heading to the 19 already. This would be great. I mean, the idea is that here my robot should have opened or here a trade, but I was checking, and here you see it. Here you exactly see what my robot didn't do. My condition was in the 1 hour, while MACD is below zero, the signal, and in the 15-minute chart you have overbought conditions, you sell. You use a 500 pip stop loss and a 3,000 pips take profit. My idea was in 1940. If here, but look what happened here. Actually, a robot here, because I was running, look at this. Actually, my robot was running here I'm confused. Here, this is my, this is not my contest account. This is a demo account that I have to start testing some robots. That is why I see a lot of signals here that I never open a trade here. But okay, the thing is that if here it was the optimal point to open a short trade, but look where just the MACD was, above zero. Then when it got the signal to zero was here. just before FOMC. I was expecting maybe a pullback to happen, to have that short trade and then bang, but no, it didn't. But yeah, this is the sad thing on the strategy contest, that you only can program once and to change once during the competition. But well, this is it. But the thing is that the overall idea behind it was right. And that is what is helping me, because I know that I am developing the skill, the necessary skill to continue with that. Again, my idea is not I'm not interested in having a robot doing trades for me. I love the fun of watching charts, of a feeling of watching and seeing the candles, and as long as that endures, maybe I would use robots just as a tool. Maybe just to tell me, you know what, even if you want to buy at this moment, mathematically it's not optimal, just forget about it. And I don't know. Okay, yeah. Well, I believe it's time to call it a webinar, guys and girls. I would like to thank everybody for being around. In any case that you like the contest. Here, FX Lord Eyes, you're asking. Duck Dow, okay, I just lost. No. What's the risk reward for FX Lord Eyes? Ask. Well, initially, for me, my minimal is 1-to-1. If I see a decent and acceptable take profit target for my trade, let's say 50 pip, my initial stop loss is 50. It won't stay 50. I allow only that as a seatbelt to see how the market starts moving. If the moves and how it moves confirms that I am right, I will start gradually reducing maybe the stop loss. Or if my take profit is 50 pip, maybe my first take profit target is 15. When it gets to 15, I scale out the trade, I put my stop loss close or at break even, and as it starts moving in my direction, I start scaling out and moving my stop loss. Usually when I do that, and when I am right, my first acceptable trade, acceptable target is touched. So in the first 48 hours after opening a trade, usually my trades are reduced, when they are right, of course, to break even. So starting 1-to-1, I rather focus on 1-to-1 and then make them no risk plus infinite reward, than from the very beginning start aiming ultra tight 5 pip stop losses towards 50 pip rewards. No, I'm not interested in that. It hasn't worked for me. The way I manage it is 1-to-1, and then I start reducing it, or start managing the trades, opening, closing, etc. And well, just to start managing what it's called, to be managing the. Thanks to FX Lord Eyes overall for the feedback, and I would like to thank now everybody for being around. I don't know who's next. The only thing that I know is somebody's next. So remember that my traditional hours and times for broadcasting is from 7 to 8 a.m. GMT time. In this occasion, it was super heavy, the post-FOMC price activity and trading activity, and I just slept some more hours. That is why I'm here now. So thanks a lot, Wilco, for that. I will take a nap. Well, I will go to have a snack first. Thanks a lot, everybody. I would like to, again, to thank everybody. These are my social networks, in any case that you're interested. Here is me, myself, Alberto Alvarado. If you have Google Plus account, you can add me, type iiivb's trading room, or just bookmark it. Look for me in Google, type in Google Plus this, and you bookmark it, or subscribe to my YouTube channel, iiivb's trading room channel in YouTube, and you click subscribe. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a super Thursday, and see you next time. Remember to trade safe, be safe, and bye-bye.